not used to what the end of that one looks like. So,
I know.
interesting.
Being
Caught
so
me
used
off
to the other
guard.
one, totally. It's cool though.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to Art Jam. Hopefully you
Yeah.
enjoyed the student
Wednesday.
commercial, student reel there.
Yeah.
Always awesome seeing that stuff kind of put together. Today, we're going to be making some stuff. I'm going to be sculpting in ZBrush off of what I worked on last stream. I was working on a dragon, so I'm going to continue working on that today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet.
I'm going to put all my stuff. I got mine here. I guess we'll do this layout for now. Working on this dragon. I'm going to load up some. I have the other piece here. So kind of doing this. Going to try to get this pretty far today. And then I'm gonna load up some reference right now. I was just looking at some reference online of some crocodiles and some komodos and some stuff like that. So
That's awesome.
Get this stuff all in here and get set up. You think you're gonna be playing Unreal today, or are you gonna be doing something different?
Still trying to figure it out. Just got to switch gears from work email mode into Art Jam. So, hello, people. She was lost, Alex.
Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome.
Adam, who's back there behind the curtain.
If anybody has questions, please feel free to ask. Happy to answer best we can.
Definitely.
Samples, spotlight projection. I should turn this. I want to put this on a button. Custom interface.
Let's see. Maybe I will.
There we go. There we go. The great and powerful Oz. Yes, the man behind the curtain. Well, welcome everybody. I worked on this dragon last stream for a couple hours. I basically changed it from a previous version that we had. I added and changed the way that like the organization of the anatomy of the wings was. So I added all these big fingers, based this off of a bat. I used some reference of the Game of Thrones dragons and the Reign of Fire dragons, which are kind of more bat-like than they are quadruped-like, with the wings on top. And so now I'm looking at some reference of some other reptiles here to make the body. I'm not really happy with the kind of the way that the body is looking. I'm generally happy with the shape of the wings, but I don't like how this is. So looking at how some of the body connects on all these other reptilian creatures and see if I can find some inspiration there.
Nice.
Oh, I don't have music. I was like, something's
missing. Yeah, that's right.
There it is. Let me know if it's too loud for you.
Sounds all right on my end.
All right, cool. Chat, let me know if it's too loud. Happy to adjust it. How are both of your Wednesdays going? My Wednesday's going pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Mine's going pretty well also. Definitely another nice day in LA.
So. Oh, yeah. Nice and warm. I started watching, I think you had told me about it, but the movies that made us.
Yeah.
I watched 1.5 episodes of that, which is pretty interesting.
I've watched them all. They're really, really great.
I started watching, I finished RoboCop, and then I watched, I'm in the middle of Aliens.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they're all fascinating. There's so many interesting stories behind all of those films.
I didn't know about the beginning of Roger Corman kind of being like a lower budget sci-fi, searching for lower budget sci-fi for Aliens. And then that Galen Hurd was one of the people that he basically brought in, and she just like wanted a job, and like so I guess she started with him.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
She was married to James Cameron also.
Yeah, they got married. Like I guess I think in the show they got married before Aliens was made, or right during, or something like that.
Around then, I guess.
Pretty interesting. And I didn't know he wrote Aliens before he directed Terminator,
Yeah, I didn't know that either. It's
which is pretty
crazy.
cool. One of the case studies that I used in one of in my Gnomon class I teach is Terminator because it's a really great example of the start of somebody who likes to push technology, being James Cameron's career, or obviously not the start, but the start of his big directing career. Uh, so it's kind of cool to see the other parts that kind of go around that with Aliens and the Terminator one I thought was really interesting though. Or sorry, the RoboCop one I thought was really interesting. That was the other one I watched. The suit. I had heard the stories about the suit, but like how uncomfortable the suit was and how hot it was, because I think they were shooting in Dallas, and just like Peter Weller just sweating like crazy all day, every day.
Yeah, it's like they changed the design of the suit at some point, I guess, and it was,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was all took them 6 months or something to make the suit.
I think they went to Rob Bottin, and Rob Bottin was like, "It's going to take 6 months to make this," and just because he was like a perfectionist, so they were like, "Well, okay, I guess it's going to take 6 months," but it was 6 months after you cast the actor, because they needed to build it off of the life cast of the actor.
Right, that's right.
Just like so, you just kind of made them wait to get the suit. But the suit it's one of my favorite all time.
It's amazing. It's so unique.
Yeah, especially like it still holds up. Ed 209 also holds up as
Hmm.
just a design. I love it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch some more of those. It does have a little bit of the VH1 vibe, a little like the show itself, like the way the show's edited and the
Yeah,
narration to it.
but they
But
get
I like it.
a lot of great people on it. The last one I watched was the Nightmare on Elm Street one, or not
Oh
Nightmare
yeah.
on Elm Street, the Nightmare Before Christmas,
Oh okay. Cool.
and that one was really really great. So I always thought that was like that Tim Burton directed it, and didn't realize he actually just came up with the idea, but wasn't involved really after that point.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Yeah,
directed it?
I forget the name of the guy. It wasn't a name that I recognized,
Hmm. Interesting.
but yeah, not surprising. So yeah, I guess like like him getting his name on it, Tim Burton's, at the top of the marquee,
Yeah.
makes everybody think that it's like
It was his.
he was super involved. But I guess it's an idea he came up with. But he was busy directing Batman,
Oh.
and so he
Okay.
the second Batman, so he wasn't able to
To do
get
it.
involved in that. Yeah.
Interesting. Speaking of Nightmare, well, before Christmas, they did the live performance in the Hollywood Bowl. I wasn't able to go, but I saw on Instagram a couple of our the students I had taught in my first term almost 2 years ago went.
Oh yeah.
It was the group that had all dressed up as Luigi's. They all went to
Oh,
that
okay.
as Luigi's.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
but what's his Weird Al was there, and he did some singing.
Really?
And yep, and Paul Rubens was there because he was one of the original voice actors for one of the kids. And then Danny Elfman was there, and then they had Billie Eilish sung as Sally for
Wow.
her
So
song.
that was definitely a all-star showing.
Right? That's pretty cool. Wish I could have gone. We did it a couple years ago when Danny Elfman sung, which was really cool.
And I would love to go to the Hollywood Bowl for a show.
Mm-hmm.
That place is so awesome.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I saw Elton John play there back in like when he used to wear those big suits, like in 1980. I was a little kid.
Oh, really?
Even though I was really young, like I must have been 5, it just left an impression because there's this adult on stage wearing all these crazy costumes.
Yeah.
Donald Duck. Yeah, it's just like, what is going on?
That's awesome.
But yeah, I've seen all sorts of stuff there. The Cure, Nine Inch Nails, Roger Waters.
I haven't seen too many bands. I've watched a lot of movies there. Like they do movies and sing-alongs and stuff like that. I saw Harry Potter 5 there randomly.
Really?
Yeah. I saw a couple bands. I saw Hot Chip and a couple like sort of other more indie bands there, which was cool. Or not really super indie bands, but they were good. And then I've never done the John Williams one. That's one I really want to do.
That I got to do, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Just like thousands of people with lightsabers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it, I've heard that like when the Star Wars stuff comes on, people like you can almost like sense the like as everybody tries to pull out their lightsaber and play along. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. Yeah, that was a few years ago. It's amazing that he's still doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was messing around with the piano the other day and noticed that the theme of Star Wars and Harry Potter are on the same scale, using like the same like 6 notes.
Oh, really?
She was like, "Oh, that was weird."
Just a different organization of it, right?
Like da na 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 na.
Yep.
It's like they're actually like really similar.
Shockingly similar. Yeah. That's pretty cool, though. It's interesting. You know, I started playing guitar in pandemic, and you know, the first thing you learn is like 4 or 5 chords, and then you go to like learn all these songs, and you all of a sudden know so many songs because they all just use the same chords or chord progressions. It's like, oh, music is such an interesting thing in that way.
I mean, it's like, you know, an octave is only 12 notes, so it's like all of the music comes out of those 12. Pretty weird, really.
Yep. She was Lost Art. You must be in my class. I don't know what your name is because of your name, but you said you watched 1917 yesterday for my recommendation, and it was absolutely incredible. Yes.
Oh my God, that movie is so good.
Yeah, the invisible edits, the long shot, the whole movie being essentially one long shot. I think it is the whole movie, right? I don't know if they have like an opening or cut sequences or anything, but
isn't the movie an hour and a half, and it's an hour and a half of time?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I'm glad you watched that. We watched one of the things we watched in my class was Children of Men.
Oh my
Obviously,
God.
having some of the best.
That movie's gnarly.
So good, and just the long. One of my favorite scenes is the car scene.
Yeah, it's insane. That is such an intense scene. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, holy, oh my God.
Yeah. And you don't expect it going into it because it's like, just kind of comes out of nowhere. Have either of us seen Merlin? I've been hearing about Merlin, but I haven't watched it. The low budget show.
I have not seen that.
No.
Yeah, lately I've been watching Invincible.
Oh, the animated show?
Mm-hmm.
When did you start watching it?
I'm on like episode, I started watching I watched the first episode, like half of the first episode, like months ago. And I was like, you know.
You didn't get to the end.
Exactly. I didn't get to the end of the episode when it completely changes. And so, so then I was just like, all right, I'll give it another try.
I'll try this, I guess.
Got to the end of the first episode. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying. Like, if you like The Boys, like Invincible is very much like The Boys in that way.
Yeah. So I'm on like episode 5. It's cool so far.
Yeah, I dig it. I love that. I love that series. I'm a big fan of Robert Kirkman in general, but Invincible I'm a big fan of. Just, it's like just an interesting universe of sort of parodies of other universes, but being kind of its own thing and incredibly violent and just, I don't know, it's just interesting. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Coming of age story.
And then the last thing I watched before that was The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, yeah.
Which I really liked. I thought that was really good.
Have you watched either of the other ones from...
There's Bly Manor and... Mass something.
We're
Oh
in the
yeah.
middle of watching Midnight Mass right now.
Okay, Midnight Mass. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
not seen those.
It took me a little bit to get into Midnight Mass. It's a different vibe than Hill House. Nicole, my wife's, she really loves Hill House and Bly Manor, so she's a big horror fan. I am not because I get scared easily, but I've been trying to get into these ones, and I like Midnight Mass so far. Takes a little while to like get into it though. It's interesting how that whole style is like it's horror, but it's also not at the same time. Like it's not like trying to be jump scares. It's just sometimes it's just like unsettling.
Hill House definitely has some jump scares though.
It does, yeah. This one did too.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of moments where it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like just
There
driving
was
in a car and this girl just
yes.
screams from the back. You're just like,
Yes.
what?
the hell? Why? Why would you do that? Like out of nowhere. It's funny. Do you have a favorite, since it's longer Halloween, but it was over the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror movie? The Exorcist.
Ooh, okay.
Love The Exorcist. But other than that, still love Halloween 2. Really like Halloween 2.
Seen Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Is Halloween your favorite franchise?
As far as horror movies, like as far as generic
Sure.
old school horror
Yeah.
movies, yeah, for sure. Because I think a lot of the other ones just they all kind of went downhill after they made like 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
You know, whether it's Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th, it's like, oh my God, why'd they make so many?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of newer ones that are amazing. The Witch was really cool.
Witch was good. Conjuring is great.
Conjuring, yeah.
We just watched that over the Halloween weekend. Conjuring's probably one that I like the most, just because I like the world. That it's all just, it kind of has that X-Files-y vibe of like these people that are, you know, into supernatural and following this stuff around, and they have all those things in their house, and I don't know. I think that's the part I like about it the most. Just really good world building.
You have a good Halloween?
Yeah, very chill. Spiked a fever, so we didn't. Unfortunately, we were gonna try to do trick or treat. He's teasing. Fun. Stayed at home, but it was pretty chill.
Were there any trick or treaters in your neighborhood?
No, not up our hill. Nobody walked up the hill.
Yeah, you definitely need to go down to that Armstrong Street in Silver Lake.
That's what I'm saying.
So maybe next year, because he'll love it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our neighborhood was crazy.
Was it busy? I didn't ask.
Yeah, we weren't expecting it, and so we didn't do the typical like sit by the fountain thing. So we just, I just got a bunch of candy and just put that bucket outside of the gate. And because we didn't really know, and then 5:30, all of a sudden, like, oh, there's people outside, and then by 6 o'clock, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of people outside. So I went and grabbed like the fog machines and like the red lights.
Yeah, I saw your Insta story with the fog.
I just like set that up last minute, and yeah, like, but the thing is, you put a big old cauldron of candy outside.
It's gone
with a sign that says "Please take one."
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, but usually would last like the whole evening. It was gone in an hour.
Right, right.
which is yeah, to be expected. But
Of course.
it was kind of funny, just like, and there you go.
And it's gone. Okay. That's interesting.
So, but it was cool. It was awesome just to see so many people. Like I wasn't expecting it, but it was just this nice like feeling of normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
That so many people were just down to get back to trick or treating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So that was cool.
That's great.
But yeah, so it was chill. Just Miguel and Tran came over.
Oh, cool.
So we were gonna watch a movie, but then they came over late because they had class till 7, and Miguel did.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just ended up eating a bunch of tacos and wings from the Rustic.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah, Liz got way too many tacos. Just like we're 4 people. It's like we're gonna be eating this
Forever.
for
Yeah.
days. And then
That's
like
funny.
at like 10:30, Liz and Tran were like, "We're gonna go get ice cream." It's like, what? It's like they left, went to the market, like,
Oh, really?
and then got like 3 pints of ice cream. So now we have way too much
Yeah.
ice cream in the fridge.
Well, there's worse things to have too much of.
Well, it was that thing where it's like, like low calorie ice cream,
Oh, never mind.
but it was
Yeah.
actually pretty good. But then it's like, yeah, but then that just means you're going to eat more of it.
Yeah, yeah, I know you just have more of it.
Kind of funny.
Mick says, Hereditary freaked you out.
Yeah, Hereditary was pretty cool.
I don't remember seeing Hereditary, but it's very possible I did. I watched Malignant recently, which was one of the newer James Wan movies. That was pretty good.
I have not seen that.
Same guy as Conjuring.
Okay.
That was.
But yeah, I definitely am already looking forward to Halloween next year now that I know that things are kind of like back to normal.
Sure. Yeah, and be ready to go all out again.
Yeah. But luckily, I still had fog juice left over from last year, which I was surprised.
Oh, yeah? That's
I guess
good.
I just
Didn't
bought
have
a
to-
ton. I guess, or not last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it just like a liquid? I've never really used a fog machine.
Yeah, it's just like this, like a gallon jug that I just get on Amazon. And Bog Fog, I think is what it's called, the brand.
Bog fog. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds right.
And yeah, it's just a gallon, and you just pour it in. And it's a fog machine I got off Amazon by just like reading reviews, as opposed to the ones they sell at like the Halloween stores.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Halloween stores don't produce that much fog, and like this one, which is I guess more commercial. You've seen it.
Oh, yeah, yours is
Crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yours can put out some fog. It like goes all the way into the street sometimes.
Yeah, although like for the first hour, the wind, there was some kind of very mild breeze, but it was just causing like all of the smoke to just cover my neighbor's house.
Sorry.
Sorry about that, but
Yeah, it's Halloween. Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome. You just hear so many kids from the street just getting all
Oh,
excited
totally.
by fog.
That's cool. Yeah, I was happy to see so many pictures of people out having fun. I was probably like you. I was curious what the turnouts would be, if neighborhoods would be doing it or weren't doing it. Even around here, people weren't really sure.
Yeah, no, I was busy.
Did you dress up? I did not dress up for that. We did a thing on Saturday because Halloween was Sunday. Was that right?
Yeah.
My days right? Yeah, we did a thing on Saturday. at the zoo. We did like it's called Boo at the zoo. So we just walked around there, and we dressed up as skeletons for that. And then my son was the Hulk. So he had a
Yeah, I
Hulk
saw those
costume,
pictures.
which he was very happy about, which is
Yeah,
funny. Yeah, he was
that's awesome.
super excited to be in costume.
Yeah, when does She-Hulk come out?
Oh, that's a good question.
Isn't that one of their next shows?
Yeah, it's definitely one of their next ones. It's got to be soonish, I'd feel like, because coming up next, I think, is Hawkeye, and then as far as shows is concerned, What If just ended.
Yeah, not excited by. Oh, I should save.
Yeah, he did. Or not he. Like, there was a good run of Hawkeye, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I'm trying to remember. That was a little different than it had been done before, and I think that appears to be what they're modeling this show after.
Okay.
If it's like that, I think it'll be pretty good. I find the character interesting because he's him and Black Widow are not superpowered characters, so how they exist in a world of very superpowered characters. It's kind of
Seems extremely problematic.
Yeah.
Especially when you watch a
problematic.
show like Invincible, you're like, yeah, you'd be dead. You'd be dead really quickly.
Yeah, compared to like any like Omni-Man or
Yeah,
Invincible
exactly.
or any of the heroes. Yeah. Invincible. J.K. Simmons. I think I've talked about J.K. Simmons many times on the stream, but I love J.K. Simmons. He's such a perfect casting for that character.
He's just awesome in everything I've seen him in. Him in Palm
Yeah.
Springs is fucking.
When he comes out and shoots
His
him.
first appearance in.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm
So
gonna love
good.
this movie.
You're like, what the? And especially, I think you and I both went into that movie. We didn't watch it together, but watching it, just like not really knowing anything about the movie,
Mm-hmm.
perfect, absolutely perfect. Having no idea who he was or what the movie was about. He's so good. Whiplash, he's incredible in Whiplash. That movie's
That movie was really,
amazing.
really good.
Let's see. Shredmater from YouTube says, "Hey guys, I'm interested in going to Gnomon next year and working on my portfolio before applying. What is the best way to practice a program like ZBrush on a budget?" Good question. If you want to practice ZBrush on a budget, like free budget, you can use ZBrush Core Mini, which is a free version. You don't get a ton of features in the program, but you can sculpt. So you can sculpt from a sphere, from a rock, or it gives you, I think, a cube and a sphere to sculpt from. And that's completely free. You can also use ZBrush Core, which is the version up from that, which is like kind of the in-between of the full program and then this one in Core Mini. And then I think they also have a subscription model, which you can use as well. If you just wanted to subscribe. I don't know what the minimum subscription is, but you could do that as well. So that's a good one. Blender, I think, has sculpting in it. I've heard a lot of people ask about sculpting in Blender. I've never done it myself, so I can't give you any insights there, but Blender's a good place to start in general if you're interested in 3D, interested in Gnomon. There's a lot of resources out there for that as well. So I would also check that out.
I mean, when it comes to just playing with core, I think it's fine because it's like you really just need to practice with form.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the features are things that you use a lot less frequently.
I mean, just taking the sphere that you can start with in Core Mini and sculpting a head, practicing to sculpt a skull, like those are really good foundational things to work on. And you can do that in that program pretty straightforwardly. So do that, kind of practice that, and I think that would be a good starting point. Another thing, just kind of a tip for you, Shred. You you can totally contact our admissions advisors before you apply. We actually recommend you do, so they can give you tips and tricks and advice on your portfolio. Uh, so I would definitely recommend you reach out to them and do that. Kiara Koval from YouTube is saying, "Hey guys, I was wondering if either of you had recommendations for good websites or podcasts for VFX and industry-related news."
Industry-related news, CG Channel is useful.
Mm-hmm.
CGchannel.com posts news daily, like just what's going on with like software releases and industry announcements. So just as a place to just log into every morning for like 10 minutes and just sort of see what the news is. CG Channel's been around for like 20 years, and we took it over a few years ago. But really the main purpose of the site is news. So a lot of companies email our editor press releases and things every day, and then we just sort of, Jim posts things that are interesting for the community. So I think from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just so many things on YouTube to follow, but news is trickier. You have,
Mm-hmm.
there used to be, Cinefx, but Cinefx went away.
Mm-hmm.
There's before and afters, which is a great sort of newish
Mm-hmm.
website from Ian Fales, and he does some great behind the scenes stuff on the industry, so that if you want to kind of like get breakdowns on how things are done, I'd recommend Ian's podcast. It's a podcast as well where he interviews people, which is the newer part of it.
Mm-hmm.
He also does a lot of like articles.
Yeah, I haven't really checked out Ian's stuff, but I like his
Ian's
work.
been
So
a writer, for years for our
yeah.
community. He's based out of Australia, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember meeting him there. He's a really nice guy.
Super nice, yeah.
So before and afters and CG Channel. Where is the before and after articles?
It's befores and afters, plural.
Oh,
So if you Google
plurals.
that, yeah.
Found it. Awesome. Thanks for the info. No worries. Thanks for the question. What's the kind of character you're making here? Just sculpt him from scratch as it comes, or any backstory?
No, it's probably another dude that's going to have smoke coming out of these little vents on the back.
Nice.
So another little furnace head.
Cool.
But yeah, trying to figure out the proportions. So it's like typical, like, it looks all right from the front. Like, oh my God, he looks horrible from the side.
Yeah, definitely been there before. Yeah, many, times.
It's like, okay, that's just part of the process.
Yep. It's always interesting watching that happen. Like, well, this is. There's always moments like in a sculpture or a project where you're like, this was a huge mistake. Like, this looks terrible. And then eventually it gets better. But happens every time.
Yeah, it'll take some time for me to not hate it, and that's the way it goes.
Yep. Are you using, the question from the chat is, are you using reference or are you just freehanding?
I have a doodle of mine that I did. I don't know when. It was just sitting on my hard drive, and which is this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is just a drawing for my sketchbook. So that's kind of the inspiration for it.
Cool.
So a while ago, I scanned random like doodles from my sketchbook as like, maybe one day I'll make these. And so there's a few of them that I've never made.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if
Cool.
he ends up doing something.
Nice. Kind of just trying to block out some anatomy here using some reference and stuff, but I'm kind of getting stuck. I'm like, I don't know exactly what direction I want to go, so I'm like bouncing back and forth on things. Just was Googling some bat anatomy. How this is going to look. I think I just need to like focus on an area. That's where I think I'm needing to get to. Sometimes on a project where I'm like working on a bigger character or something, or even a big scene, it's like I just need to find like one part of it to kind of kick off the style or the inspiration for everything else. Am I planning on rigging it afterwards? I'm not planning on rigging it. I was thinking about doing a pose on a layer today to be able to pop back and forth, but because I find sculpting in like whatever this T-pose sort of thing is, I find it really difficult to design in or to kind of like just figure out what your shapes are really going to be, just because it's so boring. It's just like so like static and not very interesting most of the time. So I kind of find that sculpting in a pose, even if it's not something that's going to be good for rigging, is easier to kind of get the essence of the character in. So I'm going to start on the head, I think. Crank this up a little bit. We got the fantasy music, so I figured fantasy music was a good time to try to continue this dragon.
Do you see the new trailer for Witcher Season 2?
I haven't yet. I want to watch it, though. I was waiting for my wife to watch it with me because she's a huge fan of the show.
Pretty cool.
Is it good? Yeah?
Yeah, it's got a funny tone,
Oh, interesting.
But I still liked it.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out. From what I've heard, the second season isn't supposed to do too much of the like time hopping.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be more linear.
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
It was, yeah. Do we know what studio produced the VFX for the show? That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head which studio worked on Witcher.
Yeah, I'm not
Or if it was
sure.
more than one.
I Mondo has done a lot of shows like Game of Thrones,
Sure.
but I'm not sure if they worked on Witcher.
Yeah, I don't know. If anybody does happen to know, let us know. Curious myself now.
Have you tried watching Foundation yet?
I have. We're about 5 episodes in. Um, I don't love it though.
Yeah, I've
I
read
was
mixed things about it. It's just a shame.
Yeah. I really like Empire. I like that portion of it. I like the actor who plays the main middle. I don't remember what they're called, but it's like dawn. It must be
He's what-
day.
he- okay.
I like that portion of it, and I like the whole beginning where it's kind of the formula is exposed to the foundation and all that. I thought that was interesting. And now I'm just kind of losing interest in just like the direction it's kind of going, I guess.
I mean, it's an ambitious thing to tackle, and it's not something that should be hurried. And I don't know how long they,
Mm-hmm.
worked on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But for such a loved book, it's a shame when it gets mixed reviews. But I still got to watch it and
Oh, for sure.
give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, I've only read Foundation, the first one, well, once, maybe twice, a long time ago. So it's not super fresh in my mind.
I've read it like 3 times, but the last time I read it was like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of books, but there's so many different stories,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not like one linear thing like Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
It jumps around, like characters change. It's very, very, very cool.
Mm-hmm. Have you watched Star Wars Visions? That's one I have not watched that I've seen some people talking about. I didn't catch any of the Star Wars Visions or Bad Batch.
I have not.
That was one. I'd like to see them, but curious if anybody else out there's watched those.
File save.
Yeah, good call.
How's your internet been behaving?
It's been okay. It's dipping right now, apparently, as I say that. But
Yeah, it's just started kind of.
did it do it again?
Well, your audio just got a lot louder for some reason.
I don't know why. Here.
Did I tell you about researching AT&T fiber?
You told me that they were going to upgrade you or something.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying though, because they were going to upgrade us, and then they scheduled a day to come and do it, and then they showed up by calling and saying, "Hey, we're here, but we need to get into your neighbor's yard to access the pole, and so therefore we're going to leave because you need to coordinate with your neighbor access to the pole and let us know." Which was like, that's weird, because they've had to access that pole before and they've never asked us to be the middleman.
Odd.
So that was a little weird. It's like, okay, well then I guess it won't be happening today.
That's strange.
So yeah, it was kind of like, yay, we're going to get super fast internet. And it's like, oh, not today.
This one. I'm going to do that pose, I think. This definitely feels like a request. This music.
It does, but it works for me. Are you guys going to stay in town for Thanksgiving?
We'll be going to my family's house in Colorado.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it should be good. Excited to see everybody I haven't seen in a long time. And you?
Probably stay here. So I'm just not sure between here or going out to Joshua Tree.
Mm-hmm.
But India will still be in the UK, so she won't be back until mid-December.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so yeah, I think it'll be fairly chill. So maybe see my family, not sure. Like I'm gonna have dinner with them, because I have my aunt and cousins here.
Mm-hmm.
We used to always do Thanksgiving together, but then because of COVID, that kind of changed. But
Yeah, of course.
so I'm not sure yet if we'll be with them.
Nice.
Well, my aunt's like 80 something, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a matter of whether she feels like doing something like that.
Right.
And then my uncle just turned 90, her older brother, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Where am I from in Colorado? I'm from Denver. There's a bunch of people from Gnomon. Like, I feel like when I went that were from Colorado. It's like a wave that passed through. Or at least had been there or lived there.
Yeah, definitely need to go there one day. Never been.
Oh, yeah. You're from Colorado, too. That's awesome. Yeah, Denver's kind of where I was kind of raised since I was in high school. Oh, before that, I guess elementary school all the way through going to college there. I don't know if I want to go crazy on this pose. Happens.
Ready for your new stream next week?
I am. I'm pretty prepped for that. I'm just kind of getting some last little things settled. I'm excited for it. So yeah, in case nobody has seen, anybody who's watching right now, I'll be hosting a new stream on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time called Archetype, which is a character design stream. We'll be focused on making different archetypes. So
Yeah,
it should be a fun
different
one.
character design every month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited.
You're gonna have guests on sometimes.
Yeah, I'm planning to have some guests on probably once, basically one character a month, or one character a month, and ideally one guest a month at Elite at the minimum, so people can kind of see the process of making a character from beginning to end. I'll be going over different renderers, different textures, just kind of different ways to do things. Some design theory based on the characters, breakdowns of some existing designs as well. So kind of like a fully focused character design stream. So it should be a fun one. I'm pretty confident in the character that I'm going to start with, and kind of been doing some reference gathering and some world building for all that, so I can jump right into it. But I am looking forward to it. I think it'll be really cool.
That's awesome. Are you going to spend a lot of time on the backstory?
Not a ton of time, I don't think. Like, not I'm not going to write like a novel for them,
Yeah,
but I'll definitely have some thoughts on who they are, or where they're from, or you know what caused them to be the person that they are. Because I think that's all important. It is important stuff to like who and how the character acts, or what they would look like, or what they would dress, or it's kind of it's an important piece of them. So
yeah,
that will definitely be an element of the stream of when designing a character, how those things can play into it. And it'll cover all different types of characters too. So I think the majority of it will be humanoid characters, but there'll be some hard surface stuff occasionally. There'll be some creature stuff occasionally, for more creatures that are characters, not just like a monster. So like your Groots or your Smogs and stuff like that too. So yeah, I think it'll be a fun one. I'm excited. And then we also have that evenings, so Tuesday evenings from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific. Jared Krashevsky will be doing Creature Corner, which is another one of our new streams, which will be a creature-focused stream as well. So we'll have a character-focused and then a creature-focused stream in the evening. And he's planning to do some fun stuff. I was chatting with him. He's planning to do a Creature of the Week, so breaking down some existing creature designs. So if you're a fan of creatures or creature design, I think you'll like that one, because you'll get a kind of a learn and work session as well. He'll also be making and sculpting and going through his concept design process and how he gets to his images and all that stuff as well. So yeah, a lot of new stuff coming up, all on Tuesday. It's coming Tuesday.
I think it'll be cool just to have themes and topics as opposed to
For
RCam,
sure.
which is so kind of like, what are we going to do? You don't know. It's like I ended up just making a head because I didn't know what I was going to do. But if this theme was called, or if this show was called, "You Have to Make an Environment," then I would have made an environment.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But it's like when I don't know what I'm going to do and I didn't have time to prep, then it's like,
Sure.
working with a sphere and Dynamesh is kind of like, feels the most approachable, even though it's kind of like, I know it would probably be cooler if I was doing something in Unreal, but I need to do the same thing, come up with a stream that's going to be different than this. Still got to figure that out.
You could call it "You Got to Make an Environment." I like that.
Yeah, it's like I do still miss the now that it's been so much time, the experience of the fellowship and just having like same. That's kind of it, right? You must do this.
Yes.
Like that was basically the way that worked. Was
Yep. Absolutely. It's like an accountability thing, and like you have a project that needs to be done by a certain point, and you kind of have to break that project down into little steps, right? And so then you have like your tasks for the day, what you got to get done, and it's kind of nice to have that sometimes. This little bass groove we have going.
What just happened?
We just stepped into something very different. We were in a medieval tavern, and now we're...
That's funny. Eddie Lee just moonwalked into this.
I'm going to hit the shuffle button.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think it was just going down the list and got into like a different artist. You're like, oh, I think we're just in somebody else's style right now. I see I already answered your question from YouTube, Cozy, but yes, it will be taking archetype will be taking a character to full concept. So starting from nothing, or in some cases, I'll probably start with something I maybe have sculpted roughly off stream. I'm not going to do like a whole, I sculpted this character from scratch off stream and you don't get to see any of that. But just to be able to go through a full character from the beginning every time. I don't know if you'll see the very, very, very beginning of every character, but enough that you can see where it would have come from, and or I'll break down the steps I took to get there.
Yeah, well, I think that'll be cool. I mean, like, for you to do some stuff off camera is totally fine, because then people don't have to see, some things get redundant. Also.
Yeah, at a certain point, I think, you've seen, there's plenty of, especially for that stream, there's plenty of videos on demand you can watch on our channel of me sculpting stuff from scratch and explaining how that's done. So I'm wanting to get into other topics and other parts of the pipeline, and so some of it you'll see off stream, and then I'll catch you up on it or show you how I did it, but not every single piece will be live. I'm excited to see what Jared makes too.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be entertaining. How often does he think he's going to have guests?
I don't know if he'll do once a month, but I know he's got a couple people he wants to bring on. Some of his friends that he wants to bring on that are also creature designers.
Cool.
So we'll be seeing some people in there, I'm sure. Can this be a monthly that me and we can follow? It'll be a weekly stream. So both of those, Creature Corner and Archetypes, will be streamed weekly. So
but
every
a monthly
Tuesday.
Project for you.
Oh, yes. For me, it will be a monthly project. So it'll wrap up every month. It'll be starting next week in November. So the first character will basically just go till the end of the year, and then I'll be starting new ones as of January. So one till the end of the year, and then we'll start in January on a new character.
Because of them pesky holidays.
Yeah, I got to take some time on the holidays and go see some family. Some design in this. It's just like anatomy right now. It's just kind of bothering me.
That's how I felt for the last hour.
Just like sculpting structure of a face.
It's like, what am I doing? This is just bothering me.
Yeah, like I need to change what's happening here. I think I'm going to add... What am I going to add? I'll change this head shape.
It looks very friendly.
I know. I don't like that. Like, no. Like, how do I? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out like how I want to make the face, and I've been looking at other ones and reptiles, and I'm like, there's something just that isn't working here. It's like I keep bouncing around to different areas, and I keep putting those eyeballs in, and those don't help at all. It always makes it look like a puppy dog. So I think I'm just going to sculpt it without those for a while. It's like, oh, I'm making a scary dragon, but it looks pretty friendly though. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
exactly.
guys.
I'm here.
Guys.
Pete's dragon or something, yeah. I made these horns, and I'm like debating on these horns. I'm like, I don't know if I like these. Oh, great.
Seasonal.
Uh-huh. How early do you think is appropriate to play Christmas music before Christmas?
Uh, December 1st.
So you have to be in December.
That's my view on it.
Yeah.
Definitely not now.
Well, don't go into a mall because I'm sure
I
it's
know.
playing
Oh yeah. Yeah, like my daughter, like the moment Halloween is over, she's like ready.
Christmas time.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, no, not
Mm,
for me. I mean, I like Christmas and everything, but
sure.
each month for its own holiday is kind of how I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely like skips. Sometimes it just straight up skips Thanksgiving. Need to look at some reference. Are you a haunted house person? Like, did you ever like to go to them?
been a long time.
Yeah, not just
But
pre-COVID, but just like in general.
in general, it's been a long time. Yeah. So I guess that means that I'm not a big
Not,
fan of them, but I'm not like,
not against them necessarily. But
I've always wanted to go to Universal during this season.
like Halloween Horror Nights or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I've never done Halloween Horror Nights or not Scary Farm.
I mean, either. I figure that's like where all the people from Face Off end up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. We did one. Did I tell you about our like the live theater one that we did
Uh-uh.
this year? It was called, what was it called? Delusion or something like that. It was a little ways away, but it's sort of like a haunted house experience, but it's also like live interactive theater. So it takes about an hour to go through it, and it's actors that you're going in these like scary scenarios, and they're allowed to like touch you and grab you and like jump out at you, and sometimes they'll like pull you into the story. So
Okay.
like that we were in this haunted room, and there was like this ghost woman, and she was like the piano teacher of this little girl or something that was missing, and so she was like looking for the girl to play piano, like it was like the girl's piano lesson time, and so she's like stalking around this room,
Mm-hmm.
and we all had to hide in closets because we heard her coming, and so we all had to hide in the closets. And then all of a sudden, she just whips the door of the closet open, and I was like standing like right in front of her,
Huh?
and she puts her hand out to me to like go with her. So I walked with her, and I had to like play piano for a little while. She taught me a little song, like a very simple tune to play, while
Okay.
the rest of the group, and because I was now playing piano, the rest of the group could go like find the thing that they needed to like banish her. And so I sat there and played piano, and then all of a sudden the rest of the group was in the room with us. And then she got banished. So there was like, that's one example of it, but it was like an hour-long thing where you go through this haunted house, and there's all these people that come in and out. And it's not really like the jump scares. Like I don't really like a Halloween jump scare
Huh?
where you're in a haunted house and somebody just like grabs your ankle. Like I'm not
Right.
really into that. But this was pretty fun. I'd never done anything like that before. It was interesting. That one I can get into, but I'm not into like just walking through like a crowded hall, like a hallway with holes on the side where they're clearly gonna like jump at you. That one I'll skip. But this was fun. This is sort of an ominous tone for this whole song. I like it.
It's the same channel.
Yeah. If you had to pick one fantasy world to live in, what world would you live in?
Hmm. Oh, that's a tough one.
I definitely would not choose The Witcher.
That seems like a pretty hard life.
Yeah, it does. Like, it just not a lot of people get like a good story there. I would probably choose Lord of the Rings.
To
Also a
live
hard
in, but
life.
then if you're going to choose to live in Lord of the Rings, then like, are you human? Are you elf? Are you hobbit?
Ooh, okay. I mean, I feel like the Hobbit's got a pretty sweet life as far as just like a chill life, but the elves are really interesting. Humans, I feel like they're always just getting into trouble. I feel like they have the worst end of the Lord of the Rings lives.
But then the elves seem so serious.
They're so in Lord of the Rings. They're so serious. Like, just I don't even know what to say. Just so serious, so serious. I don't get it. Probably not Warhammer. Definitely not Warhammer. No, thank you. That time you got reincarnated as a slime? Okay. Have you seen the trailer? This is not it's a totally different tangent, but have you seen the trailer for Arcane, the League of Legends thing on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
It's a new show. It's beautiful looking. It's like a 2D, 3D hybrid, I think.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I would definitely check out the trailer for that. I think it comes out this week or late or next week. But it's interesting how like League and Riot is like developing their lore now and stories like animated stories, which is cool. For so long it was just like League, just the game,
Yeah.
and now it's branching out into more, which I think is interesting. Ooh, Azeroth. Somebody says a night elf in Azeroth.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
WoW
pretty
is
nice.
probably
Yeah.
gonna be the answer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the world of WoW is pretty damn awesome.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so in spite of, whatever is going on with the game now,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, Griffin just told me that Asmongold's mom just died. So I
Oh
don't know
wow.
if Asmongold's one of
Streamer.
Griffin's favorite streamers, yeah. But his mom's been sick for a while. So
Oh
that
wow.
was news in Asmongold
Mm-hmm.
world. I guess she was sick for a long time. But yeah, World of Warcraft is just I don't know, I love that world. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
There's
great.
just so many cool zones, so many cool places, so many. I mean, it's so, and it doesn't feel as bleak as
Right.
some of the other ones as far as a place to live.
Right. Many of them are just super bleak. I'm trying to think like what's the most positive one. Maybe WoW. Like the most generally like not everything's terrible here.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also a little bit cartoony, which then helps with that.
Sure. Sure.
I have not logged into WoW in a long time.
You have any plans to?
Nope.
That's what I thought you'd
I
say.
have years playing that game, so I
So you're good.
I've put in my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, it's even though I loved it for so long, it's just like, like anything. It's like I played enough of that game. I'd rather play new games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like even with the expansions, like it's still the same game. It's still the same mechanics for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ooh, good question from the chat. What's your different show? What is your favorite Love, Death, and Robots episode in regards to story and art style?
man, that one from season 1 where it was like the girl who was controlling that fighting monster. I think it was like
Like
episode 1.
the
It was
opening, yeah. Sunny's Gift or something like that.
maybe that one was amazing. I
That one
love
was
that
cool.
one.
Yeah. That one was
Um,
great. Absolutely. Zima Blue, somebody just shouted out. Lance from Facebook said Zima Blue.
I
Sunny's
definitely
Edge,
love the
thank you.
idea. Sunny's Edge, yeah, Sunny's Edge was rad. And then the one with the Lucky 13, Lucky 13 with a ship.
The Ship, yeah, that was a great one.
That one was awesome. And then the new season, God, I'm not great with the names of them. The one that had the cop looking for children. Remember, like you're not supposed to have kids or something because the rich people live forever.
Oh, right. The Witness, that was a great one from the
Oh my
first
God, The
season too.
Witness was nuts.
The,
Alberto's.
yeah, I would probably say The Witness from a visuals in the first season was my favorite.
Yeah, you're right. That one was like jaw dropping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Witness was great.
He has a new film that I haven't seen yet. I don't know if maybe it's
Yeah,
only
I
on
saw some
festivals.
promotion. Yeah, something about a new one. I don't know what it is though. The one I don't know the name of it, but where they're like running and it's like in the cold and it's like a bunch of younger guy kids. In the second season, it's directed I think where the style's Robert Valley. It's like very 2D. It's like his brother. They're in the cold. I think it's like ice or something like that. But I really like that visual style. In the first season, I really liked Beyond the Aquila Rift.
Yeah, that one was very cool too.
And then it was cartoony style, but I liked it. The one with like the farm farm and the mechs.
That one was really great. So many of them were great. It was really just such an awesome thing to see a show like that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was great. I loved the style of that one.
Mm-hmm. What else was there? There's a lot of them. We've covered a lot of them. But yeah, those are all
Brown
great.
Giant, yeah, that one was nice.
Brown Giant was cool. Yeah.
The yogurt one was really funny.
Yeah,
It's
yogurt
like,
was good.
what? Yeah. Whoever wrote that one is an entertaining person to hang out with.
Yeah. What's up, guys? My professor introduced me to you, said you were his student. I don't know who your professor is. Maybe. I don't know where they were teaching.
The professor said that we were their student?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
What's their name?
Yeah. Nothing yet. Sarcona? Professor Sarcona.
Sarcona. I do not recognize that name.
Where are they from? Ehawk? Michigan. Interesting. Well, welcome to the stream either way. Nice to meet you.
Indeed.
See, I'm not loving these horns. I'm trying to figure out these horns. The head's coming along though a little bit, getting there, but been looking at a lot of dragons. Some of them have a lot of horns, some of them don't have any horns. It's funny, I did doing my dragon research. The animated smog cracks me up every time I see it now, because it's so like, I think it's like a cat or like almost like a cat or dog.
Mm-hmm. Cat, yeah.
Yeah.
The one from the 80s?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. But I mean, I grew up with that being like how Lord of the Rings was supposed to look in The Hobbit. So like, when the movies happened, it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not what Frodo's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be like round with curly hair and
Right. A little different.
super different.
A lot less singing.
Yeah, I was definitely like not happy with Elijah Wood's casting at all in the beginning.
Really?
No, because I was like, that's not at all what hobbits look like. Because
Right.
his facial features are so, because he's like fine
Sure.
facial features that almost seem more elven.
Yeah. So you were not happy with it initially.
Initially, no. Obviously, I ended up falling in love with it. But
sure. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's great now. It is always interesting when like a movie or something is cast off of something you know so well, because it's just like you have this mental picture of whatever it is, or something else that another piece of medium, like you're saying. You're like, oh well, it all kind of has to live up to that. They did do some singing, at least the dwarves did singing in the first Hobbit movie. I think the second one too.
The new Hobbit movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
those
dwarves
I
did
have
some
not
singing.
rewatched.
Yeah, I liked Lord of the Rings, obviously, but the Hobbit movies I was not as big of a fan of.
They
Mostly the
were,
last one.
yeah, I just really wasn't expecting those to be what they were.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the Lord of the Rings movies were so good. I just figured, these will be amazing. And then it's like, why are these so drawn out? Like,
Hmm. Yeah,
it
I don't
just
think it needed to
felt
be
weird.
3.
No, it just felt like a cash grab, which was surprising because they'd made so much off of Lord of the Rings, and there's so many other things they could do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like The Hobbit. It's just one book, and it's not that long. So,
Right.
like the battle, it was basically an entire movie. While in the book,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like not really that important of a part of it.
Right. Right. Definitely a little odd to me. Daniel from YouTube says, I still think Steve Buscemi would have made a great Hobbit.
Or
I've never
Gollum.
thought about that ever. Yes. He would have made a really killer Gollum for sure.
Kind of got a little bit of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The eyes. Steve Buscemi.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one I've never considered fan casting was him. It does work though, or for Gollum at least. I that's yeah. How do you do, fellow hobbits? I was thinking of that same line with him in that hat. Uh, yes. Do you prefer the old transpose tool over the gizmo? I do. I think Alex is the opposite though.
I like the new one.
Yeah.
I mean, the old one is useful too. It just kind
Sure.
of sometimes the old one I just find still confusing.
I love it. It's so not normal, but I really like it. Like, I fully recognize it's not something that not everybody will like. but I think I've used it for so long and gotten comfortable with it, where I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I love the transpose line, the action line, or whatever you want to call it. I like it a lot. I just find it really useful for everything, posing, manipulating shapes. I think that's the biggest reason I like it, and I still use it over the other one the most of the time, is I use it more to squash and stretch shapes than I necessarily do for posing or moving something. Sometimes I do use it for moving, but for squashing or stretching a shape, I use it a lot in that way. Bagpipes are reminding me of Dune.
Yes.
The Facebook streams looks like it ended. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like it's nicer here on YouTube. Well, odd that it would end early. I don't know why that would happen. We didn't see any errors or anything. But
Sure.
welcome to YouTube. We'll have to take a look into that later, but thank you for the heads up.
You know what's sad?
Hmm.
Time changes this weekend.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
That sucks. Are we losing an hour?
Fall back, spring forward. Yep. We
Uh.
fall back an hour.
Uh.
So sad. I hate that so much.
I'm more upset about it because I didn't realize how big of a deal it was for parents with young children. Because he's going to wake up no matter what time it is.
Yeah, it's just like, why? Every year, why do we do this?
Yeah, I feel like every time around this time, when it happens, everybody, there's like the threads. You're going to see the posts and on everybody being like, we don't need to do this. Is everybody
Yeah,
aware we don't
I
need
know.
to do this?
I know. It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you get more light in the morning. It's like, I'm not up at that time.
I don't care.
I want evenings. It's like already it's getting darker earlier anyway.
Yeah. You're going to kill that even more. Alex F1 says, here in Europe we changed the saving light last weekend, and yeah, it sucks. Cool.
I've
Saving
never met
light?
anybody who likes it.
Is it called saving light in Europe? I like that more than savings, daylight savings, but I don't know. I don't like the concept in general. I feel like every year I see some change.org petition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been talking about changing it for so long. I don't know why it just never goes anywhere.
I feel like it always comes back to like it was initially made for the agriculture industry, for farming, right?
Mm-hmm. We've got flashlights. Yeah, I mean, it's like I just don't know if that's really a good selling point in the 21st century.
Anymore, yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan here. I'll just say it right now. It sucks. Oh, somebody, Aquarius Jump Node says they lived in a country that doesn't change it, and it sucks more because then you got to calculate the time that stretches to all the time gap that stretches to all the other countries. Well, I think what the solution is just everybody needs to not do it globally.
Exactly.
Then we don't have that problem. What country did you live in that it didn't do that in?
I kind of thought it was almost everywhere.
Yeah, same. I'm very curious. Alaska does not do time change, also. Rebels.
Yeah, that's right. I think there are a couple states who don't do it.
I think Arizona is
Yeah,
one that, like, but they
that
do
sound-
something different.
that
It was
sounds
in
right.
Turkey. Interesting. They're still not changing it, but it's not good in your opinion. Well, that's disappointing to hear, but maybe if everybody else did it, then it would be better. That would be the hope, I guess. Anyways, that's depressing news. But it's okay. We'll deal through it. We'll deal with it, right? We'll be fine. Prefer nighttime savings. In the UK, it gets dark at 4 in the evening with daylight savings.
Oy,
See?
oy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because they're
Can't have
so
that.
much more north than we are up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can't imagine what it's like just to be in, Washington State or Maine, which is probably the same about as the UK.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 in the evening. It's just not acceptable. That's rough.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I'd just be like a bird
Mm-hmm.
and just migrate, fly south.
South for the winter.
Yeah, see, like they know what's up. They're like, we don't like this.
It's true. Yeah.
They're like, we know. It's like, we're going to the equator where it's warm.
You guys want to come here? Bird's got it all figured out. Oh, HV Gear from Twitch says they live in a country where the sun doesn't rise at all in the winter. Where is that?
Northern Scandinavia.
That's my guess, yeah. Perpetual night. Finland. Yeah. A couple of friends who live in Finland.
There's a Monty Python song about Finland.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Aquarius Jump Note says they miss LA weather. Now they live in Switzerland and we're expecting snow anytime. And we are still wearing t-shirts. It was like 80 yesterday or today. It was pretty warm, I feel like. What was the high
Yeah,
today?
it's been super warm here.
High of 79 today. In case you're in... I don't know what that would be in Celsius, but 79.
No, we're pretty lucky with weather.
Oh, yeah. Alex F1 is from the south of Spain. Sounds like it's more or less warm here most of the time. It's a warm 8 degrees in Finland. I don't know how. I don't know how. I couldn't do it.
Southern Spain. I feel like that's kind of similar in what is it, latitude to LA?
Right, yeah.
Because I feel like when I went to Spain a couple times, and I felt like it felt a lot like Southern California, just like the geography, the plants, the climate.
Right. All right. Well, it's 6 o'clock.
Holy crap, is it?
We made it. It's so dark outside you didn't even know. No, that'll be next week. Yeah, we made it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining our stream today. Progress on some of our projects. I'm excited to keep pushing mine a little further. I think I'm going to keep chipping away on this one on Art Jam. Try to get this one a little further.
Cool.
Getting there slowly. Let's do this mode. Here we go.
Oh, there you go. So I've got a head blocked out. So
yeah.
I'm kind of a slow sculptor, but it's getting there.
Cool. All right, y'all. Well, like we were talking about, we got some cool events coming up, so check out any of our socials. Honestly, the best way to stay in touch with us is follow or like or subscribe, whatever you're watching. If you're watching Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, you'll get notifications or emails when we go live. But we have a bunch of cool stuff coming up. We have a couple new streams that will be premiering, so definitely check out next Tuesday. We're going to be having our Art Jam. Next Tuesday we'll be having Archetype, which will be as a new stream we'll be hosting. I'll be hosting that from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time, and then in the evening we'll be having our new show Creature Corner with Jared Kraszewski. So you can check that one out. We'll be having all of those. Of course, if you also follow us or like us on Eventbrite, you can see some of these. So you can sign up for our Archetype stream here. This will just send you an email or a notification. You can also put it on your calendar. So check those out for sure. And those will be fun. So please check those out. And then we also have a fun thing coming up this Friday. We have an instructor spotlight with one of our Houdini instructors, Dave Strapinis. He's also a effects instructor as well here. He's been teaching at Gnomon for a while, so check out him. He'll be talking a little bit about what it's like to be in class with him. He'll be talking a little bit about what it's like to kind of work in the industry and what his role is and all that stuff. So yeah, our lighting and rendering lead at Encore VFX. But other than that, we got a bunch of cool stuff coming up, so please check those out. And we will see you next week. If you don't see those, hopefully you'll see you here on Art Jam next week from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Indeed.
All right, everybody. We'll see you all next week. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Later.